Hey everyone, you are tuning into the AFTERBUZZ TV after show for America's Got Talent. Tonight we're going to be chatting about the 6th week of auditions, so stick with us, you don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone, and welcome. We are jamming to Genuine, some 90s music. We'll chat about the group that danced and sang to this song in a little bit, but I am your host. My name is Dani Golub, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. My fellow co-hosts, where can they find you on the internet?
Hey guys, I'm Liza Ruben, and you can find me on Instagram at liza.ruben.
And hey everybody, my name is Anissa Barr. You can find me on the internet at Anissa Barr with 3 R's at the end.
The World Wide Web.
Yep.
www. So there was a lot that happened in last night's episode. I feel wrong starting with anything other than talking about and giving almost a moment of our thoughts and prayers to Brandon Rogers and his family. He is the young man who he was last in last night's episode, and he is a singer. He's a doctor, 29 years old, so talented. The 4 judges loved him. He got a standing ovation. So aside from the fact that he is just a pure talent, he is a humble, kind, giving person who unfortunately tragically passed away in a car accident exactly 1 month from yesterday when the episode aired. And the network and NBC and everything asked his family what they wanted to do with the audition, and they wanted to share it. And so I'm so glad that they shared that moment with us, because now that will live on forever. Like, it was #1 trending on YouTube yesterday, and very well deserving, because he is a pure God-given talent, and it is such a tragedy that he is now gone. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to him. We can obviously talk about his act if you guys want, but just wanted to send positive vibes to his friends and family. If any of you are watching, we are thinking of you, definitely.
I couldn't even say it better than what you just said. I do want to point out that he really did sound like Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Like, I was writing my notes down, and then all I could think of is like Stevie Wonder singing it, or like his like a mini version of him. And the first doctor to ever be
I
on
know.
the show.
It was just crazy because you were watching this and you were just like, wow, this guy's amazing. R&B vibes, and like, it was just, you were blown away. And Simon even said he was one of the best singers that they've had so far in the competition.
And I couldn't agree more. And part of me was saying, I was like, wow, I wonder if those things were like edited in after, but then they were cutting to him, so it was like, it was real, and it's crazy to think that he's just gone, and what a, special moment his family now has to watch forever. And, that he shared those moments with his parents on the phone. And I mean, I obviously was an emotional wreck watching this, like sobbing at my desk at work, but as I'm sure everyone was while watching this across, the world and the country. And there definitely is not going to be a dry eye in the audience of anyone if they had known what was going to happen. So I mean, again, thoughts with him and his family and everyone that is affected by that. What a humble, beautiful soul, and I'm so glad we got to see him before this happened.
And I think this is what he probably wanted. He probably wanted, hey, if since I'm gone, I want the world to know who I am, what kind of God-given talent I have. And the fact that he's gone, it's like it shocked me. I'm like, wait, what? Like,
it is so shocking, and it's so sad to watch something like that, just knowing that information now. Quite unfortunate timing. It's never good timing for something like that, but to have that airing right now is just so hard, because he probably would have loved to have seen everyone's positive reactions to him, which unfortunately he can't, but I'm sure he is from somewhere very happy with the response that people have had towards him, because he has been blowing up on social media the last couple days, well deserving. And everyone, I saw comments, I was reading the YouTube comments, and someone was like, I haven't cried in 4 years, but watching this act just like brought me to tears. And so I think there's a lot of people connecting with him, and everyone can relate to any sort of tragic loss.
And so, at 29.
29 years old, and he had just like accomplished so much, and he's just like finished med school and is now helping other people. And it's a beautiful tribute. And if anything, it's lovely that this show provided a platform where his story is now able to be shared with the much larger audience, because unfortunately in situations like that, it may have just happened either way, And so it's nice that his story will now live on. So yeah, again, thinking about everyone affected by that. But moving on to the rest of last night's episode, we started with Genuine singing Pony. That was in honor of Five Alive boy band. They are from Miami, and they did a bit of like a 90s remix. Brought me back to 90s boy band vibes, like Backstreet Boys, and they could dance and sing. I felt like this should have been aired on a Thursday for a Throwback Thursday.
TBT.
What do you guys think about them?
Okay, they were great. I enjoyed it. Really brought me back to my childhood in the 90s and living those Backstreet Boys in sync kind of days. I don't know, something really didn't do it for me. Their dancing was a little bit hokey and kind of outdated. And I think to either One Direction or even Justin Bieber, who isn't in a boy band per se, but the floor work is just amazing. You're glued to the TV, and I didn't really get that excitement with this band. I don't know. They also weren't as cute as I thought they were going to be. To be honest, you know, you think of, you know, Nick Carter, you know, and those boys, and you're just like, wow, Rini.
Yeah, and Anissa was even saying, like, I didn't feel like they were actually their age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
like they said they were like 18 and 20, but they definitely looked older than that.
Yeah, they looked older, but who are we to judge?
Yeah,
but
true.
at the same time,
We are here to judge. No,
I agree with Heidi. Like, she didn't like the act. I didn't like the act, but they did have a lot of confidence. You got to
That's
give
true.
them that.
Mel B loved it, and maybe that's because she was a part of this 90s
Exactly.
That's
era.
true.
It probably
Brought her back.
Yeah, good old days. But I think that these guys, like, I understand that it's not easy to bring something back that was already done. Not everything's gonna work out correctly. Boy bands, as for a lot of us who live in that generation, know what real talent looks like and everything like that. And these guys do have real talent, but boy bands are not coming back.
Well,
it's I don't see it.
So I think Simon brought the boy band back with One Direction. I think he reinvented it, but this is just kind of going backwards in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
think
see what you're saying,
a new
'cause
version of the
they're-
boy
okay.
band exists.
Exactly.
It just
I
looks
see what
differently than it did in 1998
Yeah.
versus 2017.
Because like One Direction's not doing
Wow, it's
dance
been-
moves or anything. They're just singing, and these kids are dancing, singing, and trying to do the
Right.
whole package.
Yeah, it's been like 20 years since that stuff, which is crazy to even think about because that makes me feel old, which I'm not. So
I know.
Wow.
Right?
I guess I should take the posters down.
Yeah.
That signed autograph needs to go.
Yeah. And Mike Young, the New York subway singer who'd been singing in the subways for 37 years, was who I watched next. And, like, wow, he sang a Righteous Brothers song. And I literally wrote, damn, he's good. Because, like, was so cute with saying, you know, that he doesn't get paid as well by people in the subway on Mondays and Tuesdays, but on Thursdays and Fridays when people get paid is when he gets paid. So it was just such a pure, raw talent to see from someone who doesn't have any, like, you know, classical training, that's just been singing in the subway. But that shows that practice can get you good at anything.
And passion.
He's what do you guys think of him?
Well, he's 50-something, so
Yeah, that's what we said, something. 50-something.
That's a lot of practice.
That's a lot of practice. 37 years in the subway doing that. And good for him that he's, you know, doing this. Because not everybody's going to
stick with
it.
Yeah.
And he's been, you know, the subway's probably helped him a lot. He even said, even a hug is better than money. So that is really cool. And I really dig to his vibe. His song gave me old blue soul type of music from like back in the day. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
I have a lot of questions for him. I feel like I want to know, like, is he okay down there? Is he hot? Does he ever get, I don't know, does he bring a change of clothes with him? Does he have to pay to cross the gate and perform in the subway? I don't know. I just have so many questions. Aside from that, I honestly think he should have gotten the golden buzzer.
You think? Yeah.
I
With a
think
story
he was
like
so
that.
deserving. I think that, not to give it away, but a lot of times the golden buzzer, it goes to a sob story. Not that they're any less deserving of it.
Yeah. Not that this wasn't a sob story, to be honest with you. Like, I think it was spun in a positive way, but he must face some serious challenges.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought he was unreal. By
I
the
like
way,
to hit my own golden buzzer sometimes.
We're hitting the
Liza's
golden
hitting
buzzer.
hers.
Yes.
I think we should have our own buzzers.
We should get some.
We should get
Yeah.
a nice golden
We'll go on
buzzer.
air. Too bad we missed Prime Day, or I would have bought us all buzzers.
Damn.
I'll
Next
buy
time.
us some.
Next
And I'll buy
time.
us X's as well.
But he also performed the song from Ghost. Has anyone ever seen Ghost?
The movie?
I've heard
The
of the
movie.
movie.
Yeah,
Which
I mean, it's a
really-
Righteous Brothers song, yeah.
It's really brought me back, and I almost had tears. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Like you said, raw talent, and obviously he has the drive and the passion to just get up every single day and do this in a subway.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy feat. And like you said, like you have a lot of questions for him. I feel like he's the kind of person that's just like full of so much knowledge and has so much to give. Even just aside from like music, I feel like he must have great stories. So,
Yeah.
Great
what a-
people
what a-
watching down there.
Yeah, what a cool guy. Next up was Jonathan Rini. He did the Rollabola with the skateboards and like stacked them super tall, and he revealed that he was married and his mother-in-law didn't even know. So that was
Now they
silly.
do.
Yep, now she does. 7 months in. Congratulations to him and his wife. But yeah, that was scary. This is like why I love watching AGT, because you get to see stuff like that, which you don't get to see everywhere.
No.
I was nervous for him. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
Well, it was just crazy because I don't know if anyone has ever tried. Is it a Rollabola?
Yeah, that's what it's
okay,
called.
so I don't know if anyone has ever tried it, but it is just crazy.
I would fall on my face.
It's crazy.
Right.
The amount of core strength you have to have and balance. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it because he did it with one. They were like facing two
There were
different
3 of
directions.
them. Yeah, stacked.
So one was moving this way and the other was moving this way.
Wait.
It was crazy.
Have you done it?
You tried?
Yeah, I tried it once.
Oh.
I've
You
never
do have
tried
someone
it.
helping you? Because I feel like if I even were to try to step on, I'd have to have like someone to hold on to.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm never trying that again because it really
Oh.
hurt.
Oh, okay.
But okay, as amazing as this was, it was
just one
cool to
person.
see.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. He would really have to bring something, great to the next time he performed. I don't know if I'd want to. I'd be like, cool, great, next.
Yeah. Fair.
I feel like they edited it too soon. When how like they edit
Yeah,
the
everything's
show,
edited.
but I feel like we should have seen a little bit more. I feel like they gave us a little bit more, but with the editing and the time, they cut it too loose, and all of a sudden everyone's cheering. I'm like, wait, what? Like, but hey, I feel like he should be in the circus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got that circus type of vibe.
Yeah, he had a good personality too.
Yeah,
you
good
know?
personality, but I
Good
think
stage
that this
presence.
is something for like the circus, which is not a bad thing at all.
no,
it's just-
definitely.
yeah.
It's just the
Yeah. I think it was definitely a talent, and I feel like America's Got Talent is like America's talent show, and so like this is a perfect stage for something like that. Like if you're gonna be able to do that, you may as well show someone because
That's
it's
true.
definitely not easy. So
He could go to Vegas and be in one of those shows like Zoomanity or another
like I
one
think
of
he
those
would
stage
be
shows.
a portion of a show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He could go to
totally.
Vegas and be in a
Agreed.
show, but not have
Yeah.
his own show.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So I hope this gives him the platform to be able to like reach those heights, figuratively and literally
No
that
pun
he wants.
intended.
Pun is definitely intended there. Next up was my personal favorite. I love comedians and I love comedians on the show. Harrison Greenbaum, who is like maybe my future husband. I loved him.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't either, but I'm not really sure. He does this whole thing about how he came out to his parents as a comedian, but that he's not actually gay. And my favorite part was like, you look and you sound like you want cucumbers, so I'm gonna give you cucumbers.
He was really funny. And
He was funny, and like I agreed so much with Mel B when she was like, I didn't want it to be over. I didn't want it to be over. And
Right.
with comedians, they have 90 seconds, and that's such a hard time to deliver enough jokes. Like whereas if someone's gonna do a song, it's easier to sing for 90 seconds or dance for 90 seconds and show what you've got. Whereas comedy is something that slowly builds.
Yeah.
But the advantage that comedians do have is that their act starts from the second they walk on stage. And I've always said that because if he can be witty and funny the second he gets out there, then that's when it starts. Like
Right.
he has that advantage that he does technically have more time. But yeah, I absolutely loved him. He's my favorite comedian in the show thus far. Not to like project my thoughts onto you, but what do you guys think of him? Sorry.
What'd you think?
Well, like I said before, I thought it was cut short again, but then when you mentioned it, they only have 90 seconds.
For this portion of the show, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, as it goes on, I think it gets longer. But for the auditions, I think they have 90
Oh,
seconds.
okay. That I did not know. Then again, I did think he was funny. The whole Harvard thing. I think him and Howie did have some type of something in common. They're both Jewish, and I wanted to know how he thought
the tribe.
about like, hey, I have very, very strict Jewish parents that wanted me to go to Harvard, and then I told him, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I wanted to see how Howie like kind of could relate to something like that.
Because Howie's a comedian as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
But of course, this was hilarious. I got the jokes. It was not kid friendly, but
No.
it was adult comedic, and I'm glad we were able to see more.
I think that he's someone that's like really put his like 10,000 hours in. Like, I don't know if you guys have read the book Outliers, but if you put 10,000 hours into something, you're supposed to be a genius at it, like a prodigy, whatever. Right. He's someone that performs 3 shows a night and does it in, like he said, pizza shops, bars, like wherever he gets stuff thrown at him. Like, if you put that much time and energy into something, like, you're gonna get good at it. So I think he's tested a lot of his material to see what people respond to, and so I'm excited to see what else he can bring, because he obviously has a lot that works.
Right. But also, like, when you're performing in pizza shops and, you know, just going for it, and you don't really care, you don't have that, you know, kind of prima donna, I'm not going to perform here because it doesn't have the name. I think it's just so much more, it's way better for you to kind of, like, practice your talent, hone in on it, and it just shows how much passion that person has.
Yeah, like,
you know
this
what I mean?
is his calling.
And the thing is, you never know. It doesn't matter if this comedic spot is the hottest spot. You know, you don't know where that some person, that producer, that you know, anybody could walk into a comedic spot, find somebody at a regular pizza shop instead of a well-known place, and then they're like, hey, I found you at this place. You're going to be a big star.
I mean, come to LA, every waiter that you see is more attractive than the last, because they're all actors, and, like, that's how people get found, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, even down to, like, working here, Steven was waiting on Maria and Kevin, and that's how we met them. So, like, it's just being in the right place at the right time, and it's awesome for Harrison that he got to bring his talent to a big stage. So.
And he's hilarious. I rarely laugh at the comedians on the show, but I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, he definitely got, like, a LOL out of me, so. Got a little lol. Next up was the Quiddlers. They're the Vegas group that did the Village People. This was different. I wasn't sure if it was, like, offensive at all or, like, confusing. I mean, it was funny. It was comedy and, like, dance and, like, Vegas, and in my opinion belongs to stay in Vegas wherever they're performing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I thought this was so cool. At first, when they first came out, I was like, oh, great, we're going to see somebody doing the YMCA.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen that before? But they brought something else, and I'm just curious where the rest of their bodies went. I was trying to analyze.
Did you figure it out?
No.
Okay.
They're in a black bag,
Yes.
and it's their arms.
It was their arms. They were like had their arms and hands in the shoes, and then their legs went back, and they were kind of in like a black sleeping bag type of thing.
I saw that, but
so that was like from their like chest down was in the sleeping bag, and they kind of were like rolling around.
Oh, okay, but they made it seem.
It was
like,
very. I mean, they've been doing it for 10 plus years.
Yeah,
so
well, it was very it was very well choreographed. I just want to know, like, did they make the suits themselves? Like, how did this idea come up? They were all just sitting there.
Probably brainstorming and realizing,
Someone was on drugs.
Hey.
Sorry.
Someone was not doing anything. Well, it's funny because they came out and I'm like, these guys are kind of hot. And then they like shrunk down and I was just like, this is new.
This one, I think that like if half of these acts are so talented and good, but they don't make the Vegas show. I mean, America's Got Talent should go on the road and just do tours.
They did last year. America's Got Talent. Well, because Grace Vanderwaal won last year, and she was so young. Instead of doing a Vegas, this like residency for her, they had like a bunch of the acts come back and perform with her. Yeah. So I think that was a really good idea, because I would totally go see like AGT live. Because like think about some of these acts, like even back to like the Rollabola thing, like that would be cool for me to see in person as part of like a show with all the other AGT stuff. If you think about like past acts like Sophie Dawsey, who we've actually had here, but like shooting the bow and arrow with her foot with the fire blindfolded, like contortioned, like that's cool stuff, and you want to see that as like part of a show. Or like I know she does like halftime shows, but would that hold its whole own show in Vegas? Maybe not, but like I love that they do it all together, you know.
Right, definitely. A new kind of circus.
Yeah, it is. It's like a talent show, but like with top quality talent. I mean, a lot of people are saying that the talent on this season of AGT is better than past seasons, and I don't know if that's because like Simon's really there. Last season was his first one on this show, but like now that he's there, he's like really curating for it and like making the show better, which is great.
My boy Simon, which no one agreed with us.
I know.
On this poll, everyone
Anissa won.
agreed with Anissa, which you guys, I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
But I get it. But
no, I don't get it. Because Simon Cowell is attractive, and if you tell me for 1 second that if he wanted to date you, that you wouldn't date him back, I don't believe you. Because if he came to me and was like, Dani, I think we should go on a date, I'd be like, here's my ring finger.
He's probably thinking about you right now.
He is. He actually is. He texted me.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll
slid into your DM
after the show.
Right.
Me and Simon, all the way, with his like wife and child.
It's okay.
Anyway, sad about that poll, but I respect your guys' opinions. Up next, the German God, I'm gonna mess this up. German Cornejos dance company, the Tango Fusion. It was a big group of them. There was like couples and not couples. Who knows? For me, this was just okay, and I will say that's because like I've seen way better dance groups, like salsa groups, if that's the genre they're putting themselves in on this show. I thought that they had some cool tricks and like there was great footwork, but it was nothing that like stood out to me where I would like pay money to go see them. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't do it myself, which is always cool to see, and it's fun to watch. But like, do I think that they could do that much more? That would be like pulling tricks out of their sleeve. I don't know.
I really was entertained by this act a lot. I liked how every individual couple had their own thing where like they were focused on. Girls were spinning. I felt like this was like the 50s, but in tango version, the girls are flipping over the guy's back. Their legs are going this and that. It was pretty entertaining.
I really liked it. I almost kind of see it as a traveling show, how people have dance companies.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they already do, but, at a national level. I was really intrigued. Were they my favorite? Not so much. I really loved a few episodes back the dance group with all the lights and the choreographed. Like that's what intrigues me. You know what I mean? They were so cool and so innovative.
Yeah.
Not that
electric something. They were
Yeah.
Tyra's golden buzzer.
Exactly. Yeah. But they're great, and there's something great about combining all the classics, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. Next up was another sort of dance singing situation. It was Mirror Image. So it was the two twins from Pittsburgh, and they did singing and dancing. And like my whole thought the whole time that I was watching them, I was like, wow, these two are just like very talented. I feel like they need their own Disney show together or something. Like they were so in sync and can actually sing and actually dance. I'm like surprised they haven't come on AGT before this, just because I feel like they're like a duo that would totally do something like this.
Right.
They weren't necessarily my favorite or least favorite. They were somewhere like in the middle of the pack, but they were definitely entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I could definitely see them on being on some Disney or Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, like having their own show.
Yeah, or like even YouTube. Like, they could definitely see us on YouTube.
Maybe they do.
You're
honestly.
right. But I wish they would have harmonized a little bit more. Not that I know anything about harmonization,
Fair.
but instead of sounding like the same person, I wish that they complemented each other a little bit more with the vocals.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, they're 16, right? 16-year-old kids.
Yeah, they're young.
So, I mean, what you see is what you get with that age. I like the singing, but I just did not like the dancing. I didn't like it. I was just like, okay, I don't get it. I felt like it wasn't really choreographed correctly.
It was kind of like gyrations.
I felt, honestly, I felt that I was watching a talent show from high school.
Okay, that's fair. I do see where you're coming from. That's what I said. Like, they're somewhere in the middle of the pack, but I do think that some of the level of talent, like, this is just not the same caliber as some of the other people we've seen on this show. Right. Like, in terms of dancing and singing, the group before them, like, the dance group with the salsa, like that was just so much more advanced, even though it maybe didn't capture me in the same way that it did you guys. Like it's still, technically speaking, I could see that is a definitely more advanced style. But yeah, I could see what you mean with that.
Yeah.
Like Disney, YouTube, something like that is like totally the perfect platform for those two. So I hope someone finds them and is like snags those two up because they're fun. Next up was Vispy and Team India. So this was weird. They had like the sword and basically used him as like a human cutting board for cucumbers. Like what? And why is that a talent? Why is someone not stopping him?
I know.
And have there been accidents before?
Were those Harrison's cucumbers?
Maybe.
From his sandwich?
They might have been Harrison's, yeah. And
that's where they went.
They were tempting him to see if he really liked cucumbers or not.
Seriously.
Yeah. What did you guys? I'm curious what you thought of this because this was odd. This was different.
I didn't like it at all. I'm a big fan of stunts. This one, it was impressive that he knew where to put the sword and he was blindfolded. But then again, not, because he ended up cutting him a few times. I think Mel was like, is that blood? Or one of the judges saw blood. And obviously he was kind of getting sliced up a little bit. And it was touching his skin. So I wasn't particularly impressed. I wouldn't really like to see it again. It was cool. It was dangerous. It was bad.
Dangerous.
But,
yeah, I like to see danger, but...
Yeah. Not doing it for me.
I feel like it was like that app game, the Ninja app.
Oh yeah,
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja.
That's such a good call.
Yeah.
Like this, I like this type of stuff. I like violence and swords and all this.
Right.
But this made me feel so uncomfortable to watch. Like I didn't want to watch this.
Too.
I felt like I was watching a bad episode of Jackass.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, where's Steve-O gonna come out and be like, just kidding? We didn't actually hurt ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like a Nitro Circus or Johnny Knoxville, something like that. But the thing is, these, like, I just didn't get it. What was the talent? Anybody can do this, and then they say don't try this at home. You really think someone's gonna do this at home?
Gonna do it. Yeah.
But they have to say that with the Rollabolas too.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But this was not entertaining at all. This made judges feel uncomfortable.
I was like cringy.
And then Howie was like, you have blood on your forehead, and he's like looking down, and he goes, do you not know where your forehead is?
I think because he'd been smacked in the head so many times.
Yeah, seriously.
So I thought that was great.
There have been people in the past, like Stevie Starr was the professional regurgitator on this show, and like he did things that were really disgusting, like regurgitated like knives and full pieces of light bulb and food and things that were like obviously dangerous and gross and like cringeworthy that made me want to turn away. But also it was entertaining and funny and cool and different, and I had never seen it anywhere before. So there's like a dichotomy between those two. Like this was weird, that was cool. They were both dangerous and gross and unique in their own way, but like for some reason that worked and this didn't, you know. And so I see why they brought this to this platform if they thought maybe they could be the new that, but like for some reason this just didn't take in the same way.
Right.
I think it maybe had something to do with like Stevie's stage presence. He was like so engaging and fun and made this into like a thing. I still don't know how he did it. Did you watch back then?
No, not really.
You guys have to look him up on YouTube if you haven't watched it, because he literally called himself the professional regurgitator. He's like this Scottish guy, and like the stuff he did was just beyond me.
Is his esophagus okay?
I'd probably not. He would do this like weird thing where he would like jiggle his stomach, and then all of a sudden like he would put a key in his mouth and put a lock in his mouth and put like Heidi's wedding ring in his mouth and then swallow them all, and then the wedding ring would come up on the lock, locked in. Like, it was amazing. And then he would then bring back up the key. Like, this guy's a magician, magic.
My God.
Like, it was very cool.
There's a magic factor.
There is a magic factor, but he would also just, like, regurgitate, like, like, gas and then, like, soap, and then would burp up bubbles full of air, like gas. Like, this guy was crazy cool. So, like, yes, there were things that were weird because he would swallow things that were dangerous, too. But, like, that was gross and weird, but in a different way than like smacking someone's face with a sword.
Yeah,
like that was like almost a machete. Like,
I wish it was Fruit Ninja. Like if he was throwing up lemons and cucumbers, I would have been like,
smacking
that's so cool.
That's what I thought he was doing.
They've had this on the show before. A couple of seasons ago, they had kids, like little kids, 3 little like triplets or something, and they would put like celery in their mouth, and their brother would throw playing cards at them, and he would be able to slice them. And, like, they made it kind of far because it was really weird, but it was kind of cool. And he was really good at it. So that was more like Fruit Ninja in like a PG level. This was like kind of weird.
And the fact that he had like scotch tape. Like,
yeah,
on him. Like,
it was like packing tape.
What am I
it was
looking
packing
at?
tape.
We've wasted enough of our breath on them. I'm moving on.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm giving them what they want. I'm not having
any
it.
Publicity, I guess. So
yeah,
you're welcome.
You're welcome to them because that was weird. Next up was Danny Lowe and Oscar, the dad and son of all dad and sons. Like these two. This is like no father-son bonding activity I've ever seen before. Like some play baseball, like some play catch in the yard, some go for a run. These two hold their legs like this up in the air and flip each other around. Like, oh my God, I love him for letting his son like live his dream and be who he is, because some dads would be like, no, you're gonna go do karate or something different.
They force their kids.
No, this was actually pretty impressive. Yeah. Really funny and cute, and they got a standing ovation.
Yeah. This was like...
It was different.
I don't think they said... Did they say where they were from?
No, they had accents, but he goes, I love America.
That's all that matters.
So cute.
Oh my God, this was so fun. At first they were like all nervous because the way he could bend. This kind of reminds me, I feel like this kid did gymnastics.
He's like Gumby.
Yeah, like he started gymnastics and then he was like, I saw my dad. My dad's my hero, which was so cute.
So sweet. And
I want to do what my dad does. And the fact that these two have a really cool bonding to do this kid, I feel like he just, like the dad was throwing him like he was a feather. It was great.
And he has a lot of body control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the kid only weighs like 90 pounds, but...
If that. I mean, but not the dad. I'm talking more the son being able to, like, hold a pose that was, like, very challenging. It's more strength than I have.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were cool. Something different. Excited to see more from them. I feel like they probably have a lot of really cute costumes and whatever.
Right.
And, like, the mom and baby that were with them were so cute, too. Like, what a supportive, like, beautiful, cute little family. Love to see that on this stage. Very family-friendly for a family-friendly show.
Definitely.
Another dancer we saw was Kenyan, I think his name was. He did the dancing with the projection, which was really cool, and you have to be very like in sync and choreographed to do something like that. But I will say we have seen that on this show before.
Yeah, we saw it a little bit ago with the twins.
Yeah, yes.
And it was kind of the same thing.
But I feel like that was
really
a better
cool.
version of it.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he was a twin at first or if he was just solo. And then I was kind of confused because I was thinking back to that one, and I think that one was a lot more memorable. Not that this wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It was so cool and like well choreographed and well thought out. This one, it was really cool.
It was good. I mean, we have seen acts like this too in past seasons. Like this is something that's like not new to the AGT stage. Like Kenichi Ibina, who won, I think season 9. He was a guy who did like robotic style dancing, but also kind of incorporated like magic weirdly into it. But with those, so he'd like have the backgrounds, and then like something would come out and be real. Like if there was a bird, then he would like have a bird. Like it was crazy cool. So this kind of felt like a version of that just wasn't as impressive to me.
Right. I was confused when I first saw this. I thought he was giving us a story, but I felt like he wasn't giving us a story. I just felt like he was seeing dance moves. And the funny part was like, where's your brother? Where's your brother? Like Simon legit thought that he was somebody else, but it's actually a 3D, which was really cool. I never saw that, but still, I didn't get the story.
Yeah. Which is fair. You know, I mean, it was cool and definitely not something I could do. So it was still entertaining to watch, but like, it just didn't feel like anything totally new and unique and different for the AGT stage. Whereas like, as much as I didn't want to watch someone get sliced with cucumbers, I have not seen that before. So there you go.
Fair.
All the power to them. And then last but not least was Angelina Greene, the 13-year-old singer who sang I'll Stand By You. Her parents like went through a pretty rough divorce, it seems, and she used singing to get through that, and she was Heidi's golden buzzer. What did you guys think of her?
I liked her a lot, and when she sang, I was like, she has a lot of passion, for one. She is adorable. She kind of reminds me of like Miley Cyrus when she first started.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Like
her smile was like, they said Heidi said her smile was infectious, and I agree. It was very cute.
And I had a feeling that she was going to get the golden buzzer when they were talking to her at the end. I liked her voice. I'm excited for what else she's able to come, like with music, whatever songs.
I really liked her. They said that she had an old soul, which I really felt. She didn't seem 13.
She did seem more mature than that.
Yeah, exactly. And her voice was amazing. She can belt it. I'm not saying that she didn't deserve a golden buzzer, and 100% she deserved, to get all yeses and go all the way through. I don't know, it wasn't golden buzzer worthy for me. Yeah,
me as well. I will say that I felt like if we were gonna do another young singer, like maybe like that Celine Tam,
she was amazing.
But for me, this is where I'm frustrated right now. I feel like aside from the dance group that Tyra gave it to, which was kind of an outlier even because Tyra shouldn't even have a golden buzzer, all 4 of the judges gave it to singers, young singers, which Grace won last year already. We had the 12-year-old singer win the show not even 6 months ago. So to give all of the golden buzzers to exactly that feels a bit off to me because America's Got Talent is supposed to be so much more than just that. And I could think of acts that I saw that were worthy of the golden buzzer that weren't necessarily a singer, like some magicians. Like we saw some crazy talented magicians, like Tom London, is that his name? Like where was his golden buzzer?
Right.
So I think that's where my frustration is right now with this season thus far, is that we have The Voice, we have American Idol, we have all these singing shows, we even have dancing shows. So, like, where are the golden buzzers for people that don't have another platform? Like, the reasons why I watch this show is to see those obscure, fun, different acts that I can't see anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's also like I'm waiting for Simon, because Simon turns his head and listens, and like I'm trying, this sounds a little harsh, but I try not to judge only based off of the produced story, backstory that, we see, and see if they actually have the talent that, would
I agree.
last.
I do the same.
So, while, she had amazing talent, I agree with you. It's like, where all these other acts, and not that I think it's a drag when the singers come on, because some are so talented, they have amazing voices, but when the magicians come on, or the stunts come on, I'm like, wow, I'm intrigued, just because you don't see it all the time. So I agree with you.
I think that I totally agree with you on that, because when you watch Simon and when the group comes on, a singer comes on, he listens to it because he is a producer. He wants to know. And then with Howie Mandel, when the comedians come out, he focuses on the comedic side of the act and he gets it. Mel B likes everything, and Heidi Klum is very like iffy about things, and they're all different. But with her, I don't think she deserved the golden buzzer, but I do believe she should be going through.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with her having the golden buzzer
fine.
in the sense that like she's an extremely talented young woman, and I think she is well deserving of like the fame that will come of it.
Right.
And like, because her version of this song almost brought me to tears. Like, it was a really powerful version of this song, but I don't think it was any less or more powerful than Mike Young's Righteous Brothers cover from the Ghost movie. You know, so I think. Yeah, I don't think that this stood out from the crowd in the way that when I watch a golden buzzer, 9 out of 10 times like I cry because like it is an emotional moment. Like you feel it with that person. Like the young woman that Simon gave it to who was deaf, that was the singer. Like by all means, she deserved that, and I was feeling it, and I was with her in that moment. But like I didn't have the same emotional connection here that I did to that.
Yeah, well, it's almost scary because you don't. These golden buzzers, you feel the emotions that they're going through. You're so ecstatic, and like. You don't want it to kind of be downplayed by just kind of handing it over.
Yeah, and I feel like Heidi maybe like, you know, connected with this act and like on a personal level and like saw something in her and like maybe, you know, she reminded her of like herself or her kids or something, you know what I mean, where she just connected with her with like you do with certain acts. Like there are certain singers that you just connect with as an artist to fan. And so maybe Heidi had that connection and she had her buzzer to give, and I'm not like judging her choice. I'm just saying across the board we do have a lot of similarity, and you know, going forward, so that means our out of our live show already 5 of them are just going to be singers. So the ones that are good singers that didn't get a golden buzzer, I feel like aren't going to get to go that far because this isn't a singing show. They do have to keep some sort of variety, and so people like, you know, Celine or Mike Young or other talented singers that I've seen throughout this process may not make it as far because we have 5 automatically already in the lives.
Right.
You know? I agree. So there's a discrepancy I have there because do I think that those are the 5 best? I mean, even someone, I mean, obviously he won't be going, but Brandon Rogers, where was his golden buzzer? He sang and he was just as good. So someone like him, even if he was able to go through, maybe wouldn't have been able to make it as far because of the, you know, locked in singers already down the road.
You know, I mean, this is my own personal opinion. I don't like when they show us a sad story.
I agree.
Like, for me, I have a sad story, and I just told you guys before we got in my situation, what I have going with my, physically and everything. But I'm not gonna come on to here or anywhere else and tell people, oh my God, come like us because of what I have, or you know, rate us, give us 5 stars. Well, give us 5 stars on iTunes anyways. But you know, I'm not going to tell us, you know what I mean?
And everyone is facing a battle.
Everyone has their own problem, their situation they're going through. She's 12, 13 years old. Her parents are going through a divorce. It is sad in its own way, but she's not the only one who's has in that situation. Yeah. And some people deserve, like you guys said, some people that have talent deserve the golden buzzers. I don't want to see another singer go through.
I almost feel like I want to see the story after I see the act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I want to go in unbiased. Like I don't have a problem with seeing their stories and where these people come from, because in some cases, like last season, there was like a group of 5 singers who had been in like grew up in a really hard neighborhood, and they came together, and like drugs, you know, were like on the outskirts, but they came together with music, and it was like really beautiful, and I loved seeing that story. And I do think that like there is an emotional connection to these artists and this show and these acts in general, and so people do want to like be able to connect with these people, and their story does allow them to do that. But I almost wish, you know, the judges and us both saw that in like a post package to like, you know, here's the act, we're gonna get them on stage, and then after be like, you know, and this is what they faced and challenges they had to go through to get here, and like look how, you know what I mean, because like you still want to connect with them on that level. But I do feel like I find myself even feeling biased because I'm like, oh my God, like this poor baby.
It's like, how are they not giving it to them? They have this going on in their lives, and they really deserve this.
But then if you find someone like, you know, the act that Tyra gave it to, you know, just because they didn't overtly say what was going on in their lives, who knows what they had to overcome, you know, to be able to do that. And so
that's a situation when the judges ask them, okay, where are you from? Why are you here?
Right.
And I notice a lot of contestants always say, why are you here? Oh, this is the best show. blah, blah, blah. And I feel like a lot of contestants are saying the same thing about that. But with, like you guys said before, let's give it to somebody who definitely has talent. These singers are great. They do have talent. But America's Got Talent, I feel that it's about people who are trying to be in Vegas.
Yeah, I agree.
And Vegas is not a child's playground.
No,
it's an adult's playground.
My thought on all of this is that this is just like a sign that The Voice needs to lower the age of the people that are allowed on that show. Because if you think about it, like someone like her, if The Voice allowed, I mean, actually they did just allow their first 13-year-old this season, but like that's the space for her. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
I see what you're saying.
The Voice, if they had lowered the age, because I think they just did, but it was like 16 before, but I think now you can be younger, but like they couldn't go on that platform, so I was okay with them being on AGT because they didn't have anywhere else to go. But now that they can go on a show like that, I almost feel like that's the space for them more than this, because it's almost an unfair playing field, because you have much more of an emotional connection to music than you do to someone on a unicycle, but like dancing animals. But like the chicken joke Jew is just as cool.
My favorite.
Yeah, so like there are some really cool acts like that like obviously you don't emotionally connect with on the same way. But you know, I mean, but that's AGT and that's television, and you know, whatever.
And I think if anything, they should always, you know, if anything happens in the future, they should do Americans Kids Got Talent.
They do. They have Little Big Shots.
Or and like you said about The Voice having it being younger, they have the kids' voice, but in different countries.
That's true. La Voz Kids. Yeah, I love watching that. True. But they do have Little Big Shots, but that's like not a competition. So I agree. And even So You Think You Can Dance did a kids version as well, and it was really successful. So yeah, I think that maybe having a voice for kids would be cool. Yeah. We'll pitch it to Mark Burnett and see if he calls us.
In America.
Yeah. Heard it here first.
Yeah, true. Okay, so let's pick like, what's your favorite act from tonight that you just totally see going through to the live shows? If you could pick one from tonight's.
The YMCA guys.
You love them.
Yeah,
oh,
like I feel like they gave
Quiddlers.
Yeah, I feel like they have more to give than just that.
I feel like they definitely have tricks up their sleeve.
Exactly. I feel like they have their own warehouse somewhere with so many like stuff that they have in there. So they're like, okay, let's bring this out today or something. So one thing I kind of want to mention about the woman being on the pole. She was a teacher. She was an administration teacher. And then she was like in the bikini and she was like doing the pole. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. What about you, Liza? Who do you see going far?
Okay, so I want to give a special shout out to my boy Mike Young.
Yeah, he was great.
He was amazing. Yeah. But the person that I think that's gonna go all the way, he had charisma. He had the jokes. I think it's Harrison Greenberg. I thought he was so funny, and I honestly, it's hard to come across an actual funny comedian these days. I don't know about you, but I don't laugh that easily at people, and I thought he was hilarious.
I would like go see his stand-up.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
If he was like doing stand-up like at the Comedy Store in LA, I'd be first in line because I think he is really funny.
He's quick.
Yeah, he really is. He was my pick as well. I just like really connected with him. But someone I would like to see more from is Danilo and Oscar, the father-son, because I was just like so entertained by them and thought that was such a cool vibe between father and son, because I feel like it's so cool to see someone just like breaking down those barriers and walls and boxes that we put people in, like father and son should be playing sports together. Like, no, if they want to dance and do acrobatics together, you bet your ass that they're going to be dancing and doing acrobatics together, and all the power to them, and I loved it.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's so much, I feel like, not to sound like anti-feminist, but it's so much like women do whatever you want and women go play football. Women, like, no, if a boy wants to dance, he better dance too. And if he wants to hold his legs spread up in the air, like, I want him to do that. So it goes both ways. So
it makes me question, damn, he can do that. I should be doing that.
I should be stretching right now. But yeah, my favorite was for sure Harrison Greenbaum. If you are straight, call me, because we're not sure. I'm sure we'll find out more about that later as the show goes on. But if they want to continue the conversation with you guys on social media about any of these acts, where can they find you?
Well, my name is Anissa Barr once again. You can find me on the World Wide Web at Anissa Barr with 3 R's at the end.
Hey guys, and thanks for listening to us tonight. You can find me on Instagram at liza.ruben.
And I'm Dani Golub. You could find me everywhere at Dani Golub. It's been fun. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.